These are pretty fancy looking chooks you got, Rob.
Yeah, they're Wyandottes, American breed. They come in multicolours.
Oh, so they're fancy chooks.
Yeah, the pheasants of the chook family. Yeah.
Gosh, there's so many pretty colours.
There's 32 colours known in the world, but I've bred all 32 colours here. It's probably that in here, this yard, there's the only ones you'll find in Australia. Unless you go to Germany, you won't see them.
So are you well known amongst the breeders around the traps?
Yeah, worldwide basically. Put me on the worldwide breeders list at number 15, and since then I've graduated up to number 7.
Rob, you're a star.
Well, you might say that, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm just a chicken breeder.
Now aged 66, Rob's been breeding chickens since he was a kid, mixing different birds to create new colours. A hobby, but also a way to cope with what was an incredibly difficult start in life.
Now, Rob, I hear life started a bit differently for you, didn't it?
Yeah, that's probably an understatement, but I was born with all male organs and all female organs. And they tell me it's 1 in 250 million people. You got more chance of winning tax lotto.
And it happened to you?
Yeah. Why? We got no real idea. We know my father was a POW and that, and with Germany, and he used to say that they used to inject him with stuff and that. So whether that was something to do with something they was experimenting with or not, don't really know.
So what did the doctors decide that they were going to do with you?
Basically, you know, I went to the toilet like a male, so they decided, right, I was going to be male, so they stitched the female up, which went on to cause problems with puberty because now I got super high iron level because I couldn't get rid of the blood. My parents never ever really spoke about it. Basically, Dad used to say, oh, look, Rob's different, but there's nothing wrong with him, you know, and that was it.
Rob has lived his life as a man. He married and had children, but is now divorced. Incredibly, up until his mid-50s, he was completely unaware of his medical history. The fact that technically he was both male and female.
I found out from my auntie, just before she died, she rang me up and said, you better come and see me. I've got some information you need.
So it was only then, when your aunt rang, that you found out the detail of what happened?
Yeah, it made a lot of sense to me because I worked on the Department of Main Roads and we're driving bridge spikes with a sledgehammer and then also squaring logs with a squaring axe. And I used to get the stitch every so often. I thought, oh, it's just a stitch, you know? But it appears that that was actually when I was having my monthly periods. I just got on with life and, you know, Dad used to say, you can do anything anyone else can do, boy, if you set your mind to it. So I got I suppose, can't be defeated attitude.
After the conversation with his aunt, Rob could at least seek help to try and balance his conflicting hormones. Unable to find it in Australia, his calls were answered by Ukraine, a country where there were similar cases to Rob's because of the Chernobyl nuclear disaster.
The doctors over there were onto it because of Chernobyl?
Yeah. They like me because I'm twice the age of the ones over there. And they can see what they're likely to come up against as time goes by. And that. But mostly over there, it's affected the females, but then I might look male, but I'm technically female.
Rob now visits Ukraine every year, receiving treatment that suppresses the male testosterone. The Ukrainian doctors established what no one in Australia had. Rob was more female than male.
Have they worked out a percentage of male or female?
Well, my blood test 10 years ago started off at 72% female. And in that 10 years now, they've gone up to 84.
Gee, so the doctors here in Tasmania all those years ago made the wrong decision, really.
Yeah.
It's very generous of you to share this information about yourself, I think.
Well, my idea is I hope the next poor bugger born like me, Heather, gets a better run than I did. My basic attitude is I am how I am. If someone doesn't like me, that's their problem, not mine.
For the most part, Rob says Longford is accepting of him. He's recently been the executive of the show committee, looking after the animal nursery. And he's a go-to fix-it man for the elderly.
That's the colour I started with. See this brown one here?
But it's still the Wyandottes that reward him most, and have ever since he first mixed two different coloured birds as a young boy.
I think that was one of the genetic fascinations for me, whether it was something to do with my own genetic makeup, and I was trying to figure out, in life with that. One of those things that happened that wasn't intended to happen. Like a lot of people in life, if a door opens, you've got to step through it. It's no use standing back.